So I'm going live today talking about red flags in relationships. And I had a bunch of technical difficulties, so I'm on late. But it's all good. So we'll wait for some people to come in. Couldn't do it on Instagram because they want to change the requirements. You got to be special, right? I am special, okay? So we're just going to be here, you know what I'm saying? So, yep. Red flags in relationships. So the first red flag I'll talk about is, from when you are talking to them. A lot of people, you guys have to date online. I know you got jobs, you don't leave the house, you got all these issues. We all got issues, no offense. But then you got to get really, focused on how you are, discerning what people are saying, even just through what they're saying in their, bios or whatever. So a trick I like to tell my clients is cover the photo, okay? Because our eyes are a liar. Our heart, she just likes everybody, so you can't trust her or your eyes, okay? So what you do is cover the picture and then read closely their bio, okay? Then you're not just looking at what they're saying, okay? You're looking at what they're saying to see if you guys have the same interests or whatever, but people can fake all that. Look and see what they're not saying. Like, are they talking only about what they want and not what they can offer someone? That's a red flag, because they're not out to offer you nothing. They're just going to take from you, okay? Are they being really vague about what they're, what they're doing? Like for a job, for school or whatever, that's a red flag. Like, are they acting like they don't want to tell you what's going on with them? That's a red flag. Then once you start talking to them, are they only calling you like after 9 p.m., on the weekends, just weird times like that? That's a huge red flag. If they can only call you at some weird time and they claim it's because they're working, most likely it's because they're married or something, right? Or they're in a relationship. So don't believe that hype, right? You are supposed to know that you're a diamond and you deserve for someone to be able to call you at a normal time, as well as take you out on a date at a normal time, like out for coffee or out, whatever, to meet up somewhere, right? So be really wary of people who can only call you at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night on a Friday or Saturday, Sunday, right? And then you don't hear from them all week. It's because they're probably married or in a relationship, okay? So that is a huge red flag of when they want to call you. Then as well, like, you're talking on the phone, and we all seen all the love stories. It's super cute when we want to stay on the phone with each other and say goodnight and all this stuff. And hi. So let's say you told them already, like, I got to work in the morning. I got to get up at 6 a.m., whatever. And they're just like keeping you on the phone, like, let's keep talking. I really like talking to you, whatever. And yes, your heart is going pity pat and you're like, oh, I love this. Oh my goodness. But what are they not saying? They're not saying, I care that you got to go to work in the morning. And so I actually care about you and want to make sure you're rested and you have a good day. Like, they're not saying that. They're saying, I want to talk to you, and I like talking to you, and I need you right now, right? So that's a huge red flag. People that try to keep you on the phone till all hours of the night, don't care what you got to do the next day, and try to sugarcoat that in love, and I'm like so into you because I'm trying to keep you on the phone. Don't believe that hype. That's some BS, right? Okay, so we got that. Same thing with the first date. At the back of my book, It's Not Love, link in the bio, I give some dating tips. So again, if they don't want to meet up with you just to have a quick little, so first of all, the first date should not be dinner, okay, at 9 o'clock at night. The first date should not be movies in the dark where you cannot talk to these people, okay? Or a party. Like, no, like, you should do a coffee meetup in the daytime, and if they can't swing that, then they can't swing you know what I'm saying? Then you should do like a lunch. So you got to ease into this. If you're rushing, so are the narcissists, so are the crazy people. They rush so that you get swooped up into this love and you're not paying attention to all these red flags, okay? So if you take your time and you're like, yeah, let's meet for coffee Saturday at 12, 11, I don't know, you young people get up late. And they're like, no, what the hell is up with that? Then you really ain't trying to, be with me or whatever, talk to me, you know what I'm saying? I had a guy one time, I was a single mom, 2 kids, I was young, my kids are in the apartment, whatever, and we're talking here and there all week or whatever, but then he's like, I want to see you Thursday night or whatever, and I'm like, too bad, I got my kids. And he had the nerve to be like, why don't you come outside and sit in my car with me and talk to me at 9 o'clock at night? And y'all gonna know about me, I look younger than I am, so 9 o'clock at night for me is the middle of the night, okay? So you want me to go sit in your car in the middle of the night in the dark and leave my beautiful children in the apartment by themselves just so you could see me? You don't care about me. You don't care about my children, right? Right. So he got the right away. That was once I learned those boundaries, because we all know everybody got a yes before that. But that's why I'm here to teach you not to make the mistakes I made, okay? So yes, so be really wary of what time they want to talk to you, what time they want to meet up. All that stuff is very important, okay? Them not being afraid to be in public with you. Like maybe they say they're going to do lunch with you, but they want to pick like the most out of the way corner spot where nobody could see them type place. No, like you take them to the most crowded place in your city and let's do this if you ain't married, ashamed, or crazy, right? So those are some ways you could kind of catch it from the beginning, okay? Then I have a strict no sex before 30 days rule. So again, in my book, I talk about the law of threes. Narcissists, and let me digress, all narcissists are not sociopaths. But sociopaths, psychopaths, people that hurt people, kill people, all of them are narcissists. It comes with it. That's just what it is, right? So if we're dealing with a regular narcissist, then, well, any of them actually, any of them. I was going to say like, that one's not as crazy, it won't hurt you, but this one will type of thing. But either way, no sex for 30 days, my people. Let's pause on that. I know, it's very sad. You got to have a moment of silence for it. So yeah, because the law of threes, if they're narcissistic or crazy, they're going to show you. By week number 3, all that sweet talk, love bombing, all that stuff is going to disappear. And they're going to start, all their little nasty behavior is going to ooze out. They're going to start rushing you. They're going to start talking about sex. They're going to start doing all these things. Like now, if you're looking for sex, then you go to another training. This is for people who are tired of dating crazy people and want to find the right person and want to figure out what you're doing wrong that you keep picking up these crazy people, okay? So go on to those apps where you want sex, because that's not what we're talking about. So yeah, wait, because by week 3, they're going to start seeping out, even by day 3. So it's either 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months that these people start acting crazy, and you can see bigger red flags than the silent ones we're talking about today. So go to my website, itsnotlove.com, link in my bio, to buy my book that talks about all things narcissism, how to know if they're narcissistic, what are these little, patterns that I've, come across over the years, the red flags, and then how to date again, because all of us, after we got out of a narcissistic relationship, because the book is about my personal story as well as takes you through psychologically, because I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, how to do all that. But at the end, in the appendix, I give dating tips like, yeah, I was scared. I wouldn't go date again. I wouldn't go talk, because you just feel so like preyed upon and you feel like you're doing so many things wrong. But there is a way to safely date again. But unfortunately, we need rules. Okay, those of us that have been through this kind of thing, we need lots of rules. Okay, so again, if you're here and you don't need all those rules because you didn't have a bad childhood and you haven't hooked up with a narcissist, well, go tell a friend who has, okay, because this is not for you. This is for those of us that have been through all that stuff and it's like a bad habit, it just keeps coming back. So my program is online. I know a lot of people don't even have time to go to therapy these days, so I created an online program where I will teach you everything about the narcissist and then what to do about it. And then you can book online coaching or therapy. If you're in California, you can book psychotherapy if you already know you got some PTSD and stuff from these relationships or some family issues. You can book therapy with me, or you can book online coaching to help you get through the various stages of surviving and thriving after narcissism. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so back to red flags. Where were we? We were on the dates, the late night nonsense, not wanting to see you in public. Okay, the silent ones, right? I don't even know, I wouldn't call them silent. They're only silent because we're not paying attention, y'all. But, we'll say they're silent. So you go on this date, They agree to the date. Everything's been good for 3.5 weeks, right? You're like, cool. You go on this date. We know the typical. They order for you. Like what? Like without asking. Like if you ask them because you haven't been to the restaurant and you're like, what do you like? And, what do you want to do or whatever? Comment, I want to order for myself in the chat if you've had this happen or you know about this. So, unless you say, I've never been here, go ahead and order for me. I want something light or whatever. But if you're like looking at the menu and the waiter comes up and they just start like, oh yeah, she or he, this is for my men and women, but this month because it's National Women's History Month, National Women's Day and all that, I'm going to gear the next 30 days toward women. But don't worry, men, I will talk about female narcissists. They are way more insidious. There is a free training pamphlet on my other website, www.sablmft.com, link in the bio, for you men to look at the female narcissists, as well as women, if you had a mother who was narcissistic, to look at those traits. Okay, so back to dating with the red flags. Where was I? Comment where I was, y'all, because like I said, I look younger than I am and my brain like freezes sometimes, but we'll just go on with the red flags. So we got to dating. 3 weeks. We're on the date. They order for you. That's a big one, right? The other one is catch those roving eyes, right? You're looking at the menu. You're maybe checking out the scenery and you catch them looking at the waiter, the waitress, the bartender, right? The cute girl that just came in through the door. Oh my Lord, y'all. Let me tell you another story. So this was after I left him, right? And if you've been through it like me, it was more than one of him, but the main one, it was like 10 years off and on. So one of the times, I don't remember if it was the final time I really got away, but we were on and off and there was a family dinner thing. So we all went, and I kid you not, we walk into this restaurant and the waitress, her face was like, what the F, right? And she's looking at him and she's looking at me. And my son looks just like me, right, with a little bit of him. And so looking at that, and I knew something was up. Like she had seen this person there with a couple different women over the time that she had worked there. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, so you catch that kind of stuff, that's a definite red flag, okay, the eating, whatever. All right. Okay, yes. The big one is falling in love with you right away. Like, yes. Through my program, I do help people empower themselves. You're going to become so confident. You're going to become so assertive. You're going to become so ready for your whole future, not just relationships. I help people change their whole lives from their childhoods to their careers to these relationships. So yeah, you are worth somebody falling in love with you the very first day they meet you, right? But they shouldn't be crazy enough to say that out loud. Right? So if right away they're like, oh my God, you're going to be my wife. Oh my Lord, da 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 da. That's a huge red flag. Again, the heart's over here going pity pat, where's Prince Charming? But you got to be like, no, thank you. That is a definite red flag. Again, they're trying to rush you and they're telling you who you are. You're my wife. I could already see you being my wife. Like, fool, you just met me. You don't even know if I'm wife material, if I got the traits, if we're we could be cousins in this day and age. You need a damn DNA test. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if they rush in like, oh my God, I love everything about you. I mean, we could go back to, did they even ask everything about you? So in these conversations, be very, very, aware of if they're just asking you stuff. And it's surface stuff. Narcissists don't have no depth. They don't have no empathy. So you don't learn about all that. But it's surface stuff they're asking you, and you're just giving up the goods. But they don't tell you nothing about themselves. Or when you ask them, they say, oh, I don't want to talk about my past or my past. That's a big one. Put the air quotes. My past is in the past. That's code for I've been in jail. I have a case. I have another family. Like, don't fall for that nonsense. So I like to do my little hand diagram, right? So instead of us givers, and a lot of you out there, if you've been through this, you're a giver, you're a wonderful person. So it's like written on us, like, come and take from me, right? And until you learn to put up a giant force field, which I call the bubble, you're just prey out there, right? So us givers, we meet somebody, they're throwing the Prince Charming routine on, and we're like, oh my goodness. And we notice what they need because we are empathetic. So we go and do stuff for them and tell them about ourselves and be vulnerable. And we don't even realize they still right here, like, yeah, go ahead, tell me everything. And then we give them the playbook to lie, to tell us everything we want to hear, to pretend that, they like us or they're into whatever we're into or whatever. So you have to wait. You have to chill. Let them give, see what they gonna say about themselves or whatever. And then you give just that amount. And you chill right there. Let them say some other stuff. And you give it just like that until those 3 weeks and 1 month have passed, that you feel like you can open up a little bit more. Again, you're not going to do all of it, because nowadays all this stuff is on the internet. So these narcissists are learning what to do. So, you might have to go a little longer. And again, it depends on your history. So I also do, if you need just a one-time assessment to be like, I'll tell you the truth straight up. Like, ooh, your history is so bad. You better wait like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Because do you want to get out of this mess or not? You know what I mean? Or you made a few mistakes. You're kind of catching on. And, I think you could, make some better decisions within a month of knowing somebody or whatever. So I tell it like it is. I do therapy really quickly. Like, we get to the bottom of this and get you out there living your life. Okay. So back to the red flags. If you have a red flag you want me to talk about, just post it in the chat. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Throw some hearts up if you like what I'm talking about so far. So yes, you went to dinner or a date or whatever. What other red flags are there? Let's see. Oh, I always talk about distance. I know it's a new day and age. Everybody has cars. Soon our cars will be flying, apparently. So, women and stuff, you think you could drive everywhere. I'm a driver. I'm like, zip, zip, zip up the freeway. I have no problem with it. But you have to set a boundary, okay? So I still like old-fashioned stuff where the man needs to come to you, or if it's ridiculously, y'all need to go halfway or whatever. Do not be driving your cute butt an hour, 2 hours to see some fool who acting like he can't come see you for however many reasons. Again, if you're a diamond, he gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said a lot. I had a lot of yeses before I learned boundaries, and I had people riding bikes to come to me. So I don't, I don't hear all this nonsense when women be telling me, oh, but he this and he that and he that. Like, fool, you have feet, you can walk. There's a bus. There's all these things. So don't believe that hype either, okay? Let them come to you if they really care about you and they've been talking and they've been getting deep with you or whatever, right? Yeah, I had this fool slide in my DMs, and I like to play with people sometimes because I'm a Virgo. So I was like chatting with him, let him ask his little questions, and I was doing this thing, right? Asking back or whatever. And then right away, oh, can we get on a phone call on WhatsApp to talk more or whatever? I shut that fool down, y'all. I said, no. Because one, I already see that you're only asking me surface level bullshit, which all these questions you just asked me, you can go to my website, my whole biography is on there. You could do so many other things, right? So, and then I told him, and then he was Russian, not Russian, the culture. He was rushing me. So it was like, don't you ever text me no question mark. You know what I'm saying, ladies? Get some boundaries. So we're chatting friendly on this app. And then he says can we talk or whatever? And I'm busy, so I don't respond. And sure enough, question mark, are you there? Excuse me, I don't owe you a goddamn thing. I don't know you and I just met you. So then I told him, yeah, you're rushing things, so that's a big red flag for me. So the answer is no. And sure enough, oh, crickets. I didn't hear from him again. Look at that. So yeah, so heed these red flags. So we got, 7 minutes left. As y'all know, I can't talk this long. I got asthma and all kind of stuff. I'm tired. So go ahead and message, put something up there if you want me to talk about it real quick. Otherwise, I will do another training in a week or two. Go to my website. There's lots of free tools on there. Order my book. It's available on Amazon everywhere books are sold. Hi. But yeah, we live in a world where this is out there, and y'all didn't realize how many people, it's pretty much like, I don't know, what is a nasty disorder? I don't want to use diabetes. We use that a lot in psychology, but it's worse than that, because nice people have diabetes. So it's like we're realizing there's so many narcissistic people in the world, and you have to start protecting yourself, because they're at your job, they're your friends, they're your family, and then they're trying to, get into bed with you and stuff. So it's time to put a stop to that, and we got to protect ourselves as best as we can. So thank you. My name is Susan Broussard. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a life coach. So go to my websites. All the links are in my bio. There's also lots of helpful videos on my YouTube channel, link in the bio as well, for anything mental health related, or to help you get out of that narcissistic relationship. All right, bye. If I could figure out how y'all turn this thing off, do you know? Oh, there it goes. Bye. Oh, I did it. I did it, Robert. I did it.